Hello again. Welcome back to another stream here on the Den of Nerds Live. Thank you for tuning in, and we've got a pretty cool one for you today. If you are a Star Wars fan, this is going to be a Star Wars stream. We're going to get into a couple of big things with regards to Star Wars updates. One of them has to do with Taika Waititi making comments about his Star Wars movie. This, for whatever reason, seemed to be a big thing online. I made a tweet about it that a lot of people interacted with, and so I wanted to go over that because it seemed like something that really, triggered people one way or another. And I think specifically with Taika, his sensibilities and what he brings to film, honestly, it's an interesting conversation. Is he maybe perfect for taking Star Wars into its next phase, taking Star Wars into the future, or is he a liability because of some of the things that he likes to do in his movies? I want to go over that, get into the minutia of it, nerd out about that. I also want to talk about Sabine Wren. There are updates around Sabine Wren being cast, some of this breaking in like the trades, which is kind of interesting, what different insiders are saying about this as well. And then, just kind of get into that discussion of Ahsoka, the Filoni-verse, the Mando-verse, how's everything getting pieced together. It's an interesting time. We're eventually going into Book of Boba Fett, and then from there we think we're really going to ramp up into Star Wars content. So it's kind of an interesting time right now, and I want to get into all of that and more. So thank you guys for hanging out. I see you guys in the chat. Very lively, very lively. That's good to see. Welcome, as always. And we're going to get into this. We're going to get right into this Nerd Vengeance. And of course, the Bad Batch finale tonight. Put a 1 into the chat. Are you guys staying up for the Bad Batch? Are you staying up for the Bad Batch finale? I haven't been doing watch parties for the Bad Batch finale, but if anything, maybe we could hop on and do a little one with the Nerd Vengers. I don't know. I'm not promising, but let me know. Are you staying up? Are you staying up for the Bad Batch tonight? Nope. That's pretty fun. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting with the Bad Batch, right? I am excited for the finale, but I'm also like, is it gonna be like all that dope though? Is it gonna be that dope though? I don't know. Maybe there could be something crazy that happens, but I don't know. It seems like they're just gonna have a sort of resolution with Hunter, Crosshair, the 99, Omega, and set us up for a second season. So I don't know. Okay, so let's get into this, guys. Gonna need a lot of feedback from you on this, by the way. Very, very interested in what you all have to say about this. Now, Taika Waititi, obviously very good filmmaker, prolific, some would say, and his rise in the entertainment industry has been awesome to watch. I'm a fan of Taika. I'm a fan of Taika's work. He's even done Star Wars stuff, right? He did the, I believe it was the finale of season 1. It was awesome. He really did do well in the Star Wars world, and it was announced not this year but last year that Taika Waititi was going to be making a Star Wars movie. Lucasfilm last year sort of hung their hat on the announcement of a Taika Waititi Star Wars movie. It's like he's so hot right now. It's like the Zoolander thing, right? It's like, ooh, Taika Waititi's so hot right now, right? Pardon me as I sip on my iced coffee. It's a casual feeling today. You're going to get some iced coffee ASMR. And if you don't like it, just plug your ears and go into the corner or something. I don't know. So Taika Waititi. Big deal. But even last year when they made that first announcement, right, my sort of spider sense, my Peter Tingle, if you will, sort of activated, because although I love Taika and I really, really like his sensibilities and what he does with some of his movies, like, dude, Thor Ragnarok, probably, maybe still top 3 MCU. Like, if you really think about it, like the rewatchability of that movie, how much fun it is, it's just, it strikes a tone. It really takes us to the next level, right? By the way, Dennis B, welcome back to the Nerd Vengers. Welcome back. So I don't know, man. Like, he does great work, but even back then, I was sort of cautious about it. And so I made this tweet. You know what I mean? I just kind of made this tweet. Didn't even friggin' spell it correctly or use punctuation because that's what, that's what you do. So I said, I love Taika, but very him has me a bit concerned. Okay, And I was quote tweeting this tweet right here from the Culture Crave. It says he's focusing more on his Star Wars film. This was due to an interview that he did with Wired. And he said, "We've got a story. I'm really excited by it because it feels very me." Now, in that article, he's also talking about how there's not really even a draft yet. Like it's still stuck on the, I think he said, like, external space part of the script. So there's not like a script, but the ideas, and he and the lady that he's co-writing this with have sort of at least hashed out a basic premise for the story. I think that's really what his comments are said to mean right here, right? We've got a story. Okay, so he's got like a protagonist, a conflict, and presumably a resolution. Let's hope, right? I mean, some people don't. Some people write like gardeners, and they create like gardeners, and they don't necessarily have like a hard and fast ending, right? But he's got this story, so he's got this thing in mind. Now, we know very little about this movie, but at the December 10th investor call last year that Disney did, where Kathleen Kennedy, kind of came out and said, we're doing everything, and just kind of said like all the different Star Wars projects that are being produced. We got a couple looks at things for Taika's movie. We got the titling here. Okay, we got the titling here, which to me immediately evokes a number of different feelings, kind of like Schoolhouse Rock to me. I don't know if you guys are picking that vibe up at all. And then the only other thing we got was a really, really kind of crazy looking shot that had one of those spaceships that get taken to with the Jedi on Tython. One of those weird dice looking spaceships. I forget exactly what they're called, but it looked like one of those against the backdrop of a very vibrant galaxy-like setup. Okay, I'm sure I can find that photo as well. But to me, dude, like there's something about even this fucking titling, dude. If I'm being honest with you guys, which is literally what I do, there's something about this titling and sort of the cheeky nature of Taika and him saying stuff like, it's very me, you know what I mean? And like he said stuff in the past, like, I'll ruin your mythos in a minute, baby. And like he's got this kind of attitude about him, this swagger, which I think is actually great in certain settings. Like within the Marvel universe, for instance, this totally works because some of the best comic book stories are great creators that take these characters that are already established or created and loved, and then they do something wild with them. And the more unabated that they can be in their storytelling, the more epic the story ends up being. So like Thor Ragnarok takes characters that we're familiar with, but puts them through the ringer. There's so much crazy fun stuff that happens. It's so wild, and it's just entertaining. Nothing that happens in Thor Ragnarok removes the stakes or the oomph from either any of those characters you see in Infinity War and Endgame, mainly Thor, right? Like Thor in Infinity War, in the wake of everything that happened in Ragnarok, he's still kind of being humorous about everything, but dude, like, he's devastated. He's lost everything, and he's just weirdly sort of wandering towards his purpose, right? So it can work in Marvel because Marvel has the ability to go out, branch out, do weird stuff, but then return back to sort of a more core emotional place where the stakes that happen to these characters are very real. That is not the way Star Wars works, in my opinion. In my opinion, Star Wars has a totally different vibe going on, like a totally different vibe. And it requires a different kind of sensibility. And I'm even reminded that what he said in the gallery of season 1, when Taika was talking about working with John and Dave, he even said it himself on that episode that John and Dave act as buffers to sort of keep him in the lines, keep him from going outside the lines, and keep him on track for what is a proper Star Wars vibe. And so, I just feel that if Lucasfilm just goes all in on this guy and all in on his vision and lets him alone completely, that we could get something that, while cool, doesn't actually fix what I consider to be one of the big problems with Star Wars content currently. Star Wars as a brand currently. Star Wars just as a thing, like as a vibe, like Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that just giving this guy carte blanche and like letting him go crazy and do his thing will fix the problems that I still think need addressed with Star Wars overall to get us to a better place. However, let's do the flip side of this, right? Because to me, like, I was very interested in the different replies to this tweet. Like, people have a lot of feelings about this, and I was really surprised at how strongly people disagree. But, you know, we can just go through them. So Geekdom, my homie, says facts. And I've talked to Danny about this before. Like, he feels that way about Taika. And I feel that way about Taika. I feel that way about James Gunn as well. You know, that's just me. Now we're chewing ice. Just, that's the kind of show you get here. The ASMR ice chewing. You know, other people saying I'm with you. Some people saying very similar to this episode of Mandalorian where there seems like the biker scouts, but the main story is strong. Yeah, so like this is a great point that Terry brings up here, because to me this is the whole deal, right? Like, that episode is great, but the Taika aspects of that episode are the weakest parts of the episode, and they're the parts of the episode to me personally that give me pause, that make me say I don't fucking know about that, right? Like, I almost feel like good Star Wars directing is like good lettering in comic books. The better you are at it, the less people notice it. It's really not about the direction, I think. You know what I mean? Like with Star Wars, you need a good director, you need a good Star Wars director, but I don't really think it's about the direction, you know? So even his episode, to me, I'm like, I don't know. People say that's fair, LOL, but I have to say he's probably one of my favorite directors, so whatever he does, I trust 100%. Turns out to be another Last Jedi. Yeah, I know, right? Star Wars hasn't been great in years. How much more damage could he really do? So this is kind of an interesting point, and I see this brought up by other people as well, saying like, hey, man, Star Wars is already in this really weird sort of self-suffocated creative rut. I think we need Star Wars to jump out and do something wild, and we need somebody with gusto and with swagger, and Taika could be the perfect guy to come into Star Wars and take it to the next level. And I totally understand that vibe as well. It's fair. And to throw a fair bone to Taika, let me just say this. Taika is way better at directing movies and storytelling than I think his brand would leave you to believe. Like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, his brand has grown in this sort of a way that is, I think his brand is more associated with his character, his humor, his cheekiness, and it's actually not as predicated on the pure talent and skill that he has as a storyteller. But he is that talented. Like, I would tell you that I think on just merit alone of just his storytelling ability, Taika Waititi stands, you know, at the tip of the mountain. He stands with some really, really, like, rarefied company, some really great creative people out there. He is legitimately awesome. But his brand and his sort of style and his cheekiness and all this other stuff that I think is actually blown up sort of out of proportion to even how talented he is, it's almost like he can talk the talk at a level 11 out of 10, but he can also walk the walk at like a 9 out of 10. So it's like a kind of interesting thing going on with Taika there. But he is so good, man. I think he's actually underrated in some ways by people out there because of how big his brand is, I think. Does that make sense? Like, Disney went after him not necessarily because of his pure directing talent for the Star Wars movie. Disney went after him because, again, like Zoolander, he's so hot right now. He's so hot right now. You know what I mean? But his so hotness right now and them going for that a little bit, it's just like that doesn't feel right to me. Like, he's so good that just on merit alone, yeah, he could probably do an incredible job with Star Wars. But I think what my fear is that Disney is looking to like, Disney is looking to Taika to make a Taika Star Wars movie more than they're looking at him to just foster in the next stage of Star Wars and do some dope-ass Star Wars content. And if the push goes for that, and Taika loves him some Taika, and it just kind of goes that direction, I personally feel like it's not going to hit with Star Wars. I guess the other side of it, though, the question is, will anything just hit with Star Wars fans at this point? Like, will anything just be accepted and be universally loved with Star Wars? You know what I mean? I would argue, and here's, again, maybe a little bit of my frustration with what's going on, but I would argue that doing the Kevin Feige Star Wars movie and Michael Waldron and leaning in to Feige and leaning into Michael, and then if they got another like great director, like even if it was Taika or whatever, that kind of a situation to me would get more people excited and get more people talking about the future of Star Wars. And I guess the reason I think they're probably not doing this, from what we've heard, right? We don't know. Who knows for sure? But one of the proposed reasons that they're not doing that is because Kathleen Kennedy and that regime over there, they do not want the narrative out there online to be that they were saved or that they were helped by some outside force. Like, and by the way, I can kind of understand that too. Like, you want to be known, like, especially with all the content they have coming out right now with Mandoverse and a lot of these other cool things. I think ultimately what Kathy would love to do probably is just come out, slay it, kill it with the content in the next couple of years, and then ride off into the sunset for sure. But the problem with that is, like, how much of that is that team and those people merely wanting to protect their own sort of brand and ego and things like that, and how much of it is like, this is legitimately the right thing to do? Because I will tell you, just from the outside looking in, where I'm at is, dude, what the sake of the brand and the sake of the IP and the sake of the fan base is way more important than the sake of that particular person or that particular regime feeling as though they can ride off into the sunset and be successful, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at with it, is like, dude, the Taika thing concerns me for a couple of different reasons. I acknowledge that Star Wars is in a weird place. I also acknowledge that, look, he could be the person, he could be the perfect person to usher in a whole new thing for Star Wars. And we haven't seen Love and Thunder, but the word on the street is that Love and Thunder is going to be absolutely wild, bananas, really, really fun, potentially. I mean, Taika said he wanted to make the best MCU movie they've ever made, right? And in some ways, some people will tell you Ragnarok's already up there. Dude, if he does it and he delivers, right? Whew. I might be singing a totally different tone. Like, to be completely real with you, if Love and Thunder comes out and I'm like, bro, this is the best thing that the MCU's ever done, Taika's evolved to his next level, he's gone Super Saiyan, as it were, with his content creation, his directing skills are over 9,000, then yeah, I might completely change my tune. I might completely change my tune and be like, Taika's the truth. Let's go, Taika Waititi movie. Let's fucking go. You know what I mean? So that could be on the table. We'll have to see. And by the way, I see the super chats. I love the support. Thank you guys so much. And we will get into Q&A. I am very interested in what all of you think about Taika, what all of you think about the future of Star Wars. So we'll get into Q&A in just a little bit here. But I want to next talk about Sabine Wren. I want to next talk about Sabine. Y'all hear of Sabine? Y'all ever hear about Sabine? Sabine Wren? Let me see if I can pull up my tweet on this too. I'm going to pull this up. You guys let me know. Have you ever heard of a Sabine? I'll do you one better. Why Sabine? Yeah, how about that? How about that? You didn't see that coming, did you? Okay, so let's talk about this. Sabine Wren, obviously a fan favorite character. By the way, I haven't even looked at what the likes are for this stream, but I'm pissed off. I'm super upset. There's not enough likes. You know? I just Just suck it up. I know you probably got your freaking phone in the plastic bag in the shower, and you're like, ah, geez, man, I got the soap in my hair. Oh, I really got to freaking open it. Yes. Rinse it off. Rinse it off right now, and click the like button, okay? And then walk out dripping wet, buck naked, and go to every computer in your house and sign on and hit a like button. You know, we don't really ask a lot of everybody over here, but I'm gonna be really mean about this. And if you guys haven't liked the video and you don't like it in the next 30 seconds, I'm gonna demand that you do 50 push-ups, and I'll know if you didn't do it, and I'll be very pissed. I'll be very, very pissed off if you don't do it. So, you know, let's wake it up. Let's get the juices flowing. Slap yourself in the face a couple of times. Pour some cold water on your nipples, and shut your mouth and hit the like button. Okay, let's get into this. Sabine Mother-Flippin' Wren. Thanks, X-Wing. I'd rather give you $50 than do 50 push-ups. Damn, bro. Meet you in the middle. 5 and 5. 5 and 5. Sabine Wren will appear in Ahsoka. Lucasfilm is currently looking for an actress. This broke from THR, right? The Hollywood freaking Reporter. And many insiders and scoopers and just people out there trying to make their way in this mother-flipping universe. Yeah, we've been reporting about Sabine Wren forever. In fact, remember when we thought WWE gal Sasha Banks? Remember when we were all convinced that she was going to be Sabine? Whew, Star Wars Santa, he still won't leave me alone about that. Every morning I wake up and there's like a magical Santa letter that floats through my window and calmly settles down and falls on the coffee table. And it's magical. Honestly, the luster is worn off. Now it just annoys me. And it floats down there and it it has a nice little letter, and I open it up and it says, how about that, Ezra Bridger and Sabine in Mando Season 2. Love you, Star Wars Santa. Every morning, actually. Yeah, so we've been talking about Sabine for a long time, anticipating her coming into the MCU, with Ezra Bridger being central to the plot of Ahsoka and probably many other things Star Wars moving forward. We knew that Sabine was likely on the table. Sabine, most of you know this. Most of you are sweats. Most of you got your nerd card. You can pull it out. But for those that don't know, Sabine is very important to the story of Star Wars Rebels. The character of Ezra Bridger, whom she has a romantic connection with, yeah, it was crazy. Like, randomly in the middle of this kids show on Star Wars Rebels, graphic cartoon intercourse between those two characters. It was wild. It was really, really disgusting, actually. Reminded me of the Team America World Police thing, but worse. So, it was controversial at the time, but regardless, it was very important that they had a love connection, that was established. So these characters, are into each other, to say the least. And at the end of the series, it's Sabine sort of monologuing for the epilogue of Star Wars Rebels. And, she's still missing her homie, of course, because of the very graphic, horrible animated intercourse that was shown. So she's still missing Ezra Bridger. And at the end of that series, Ahsoka comes back to pick her up, and they're going on the adventure to go find Ezra. Okay? And ever since that moment, we've been speculating a lot about, like, how that would go down. Like, we're damn interested, and at this point, just really want to know, where the hell's Ezra? Where's he been? What's going on with all of that, right? He's, of course, with Grand Admiral Thrawn. And several weeks ago, again, it was more or less confirmed out there that Aladdin, why am I blanking on the dude's, Mina, I believe, live-action Aladdin has been officially cast and signed to be Ezra Bridger. Lars Mikkelsen was pretty much confirmed at this point to be live-action Thrawn. I've known about that for a long, long time, and Mina had been their choice for a long, long time, but they finally sealed the deal, right? Which was a big deal for both parties, actually. That's a big role, because I think Mina as Ezra Bridger will be not just in this show, but in many shows to come, and probably even in a movie or something like that, right? So on the heels of that, you get this Sabine news. Now, this is not earth-shattering news. Again, we all knew that more or less this was happening. But for the Hollywood trades to be talking about it, it's so weird. It's like Hollywood's now getting into the inside, into the scooping thing, and they're confirming this and talking about how it's currently a thing. It corroborates everybody else's scoops and everything like that. And it's just a crazy, wild, wild world that we live in. Now, over here on the Star Wars Leaks subreddit, great little subreddit, by the way, this right here, I saw this pop up, and this is pretty freaking interesting. From what I've heard, this is Jordan Mason, who is a very good insider / scooper, but horrible at pinochle, from what I've heard. From what I've heard, they've already narrowed it down to 3 front runners. Hopefully something official will come soon. Dude, that's kind of awesome. So they already have it down to 3 people. And again, Sabine is such an important character. So important for the future of what they are going to do. So it's just freaking fantastic, man. Freaking fantastic. It'll be, Dawson and this Sabine actress for large portions of that show. So it's a really important character, just in general, but also for the oomph of the show. So I'm excited, man. I wonder who the 3 people are. I will say that Chloe Bennet, right? There's like a story out there about how Chloe Bennet has left the Powder Puff. I mean, what the fuck are they doing with that Powder Puff thing anyways? But apparently they're trying to make a live action Powerpuff Girls thing work. And Chloe was going to be in that show, and she has now walked away from the show. Scheduling conflicts. Scheduling is what they say. So, some people are saying, oh man, this means Quake's going to be in Secret Invasion, which, by the way, I have a video coming out about Secret Invasion. It'll either happen today or tomorrow. There's a lot of fun content I want to make in the next couple of days, actually. But things have been a little crazy here in the tower, so I do apologize if we don't get all that stuff out to you guys. But, Secret Invasion is shaping up to be crazy, and it would be fantastic to get Chloe Bennet back as Quake. I liked her as Quake. I thought she was one of the best parts of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is also, memeably bad. And I know many of you like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I love just rubbing it in how horrible it is and how much people hated that show. Anyway, it's also possible, I saw some people point this out. See, you guys, they're already coming at me in the chat. There's also the possibility that Chloe is Sabine. And I wonder what you guys think about that. Do you think Chloe Bennet would be sick as Sabine? Would she do a good job as Sabine Wren? I thought about it, and I was like, dude, she would. I think she would be great. That'd be a big role for her, arguably bigger than Quake coming back into the MCU. I mean, the MCU is amazing. What it does is pretty wild, and it can really bolster your brand. But Sabine Wren, freaking awesome character. Big deal. Big deal. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Please know. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is one of my favorite shows. I even have a tattoo on my arm of Agent. Oh my God. Gray, I feel terrible now. I feel terrible for crapping all over the show. I will say this. Ming-Na Wen is like much love. I have so much love for her as a person, and what she's done with Mando and just on social media. I think she's such a pleasant person on social media. Total babe, and she was awesome in that show as well. Like, her and Greg Clark together were some of the best parts of that show. She had a great character. May was great. So, I have some things that I like about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but honestly, yeah. So, oh, Jesus, goodness gracious. Let me take a sip of this, and then we'll get into Q&A, guys, okay? I will say, for the Dragon Ball fans out there, kind of feel like doing another Dragon Ball video. I might just do it. We'll see. There's a lot of other stuff that we could get going on. I know our Dragon Ball videos don't get views, frankly. But I love Dragon Ball, and you guys know I'm a big old Vegeta fan. Do you guys know about the Vegeta leaks? About the leaks for Dragon Ball Super? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Oh boy. Vegeta looks like he's gonna be doing some damage, ladies and gentle beings. I'll tell you that. I'll freaking tell you that. For sure. Yeah, that's awesome stuff. All right, guys, so we're going to get into Q&A. While we're doing this, while I'm getting this pulled up, I want to remind you that these streams are brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Guys, if you're one of those people that's out here on this internet thing, it's a series of tubes. I'm sure you've realized what it is by now. But if you're out here on this internet series of tubes thing and you don't have a VPN, oh, man, don't do that. It's bad. It's a super bad idea. Bad for you, bad for your kids, bad for your ancestors. Grab a VPN. Get Surfshark VPN. It's an incredible VPN. Way cheaper than those other crazy bloated price VPNs. Use code NERD at checkout for 83% off and 3 months free. I mean, come on. It's like the best deal ever. If you're not doing it, you suck. So do that. And also, of course, the streams and all the content is brought to you by the Nerd Vengers, the lovely, amazing people you see in the chat with a Nerd Vengers badge next to their name. They keep us afloat. They keep the literal lights on in this tower. They are the lifeblood of what we do here. We couldn't do what we do without the Nerd Vengers. They get all sorts of benefits, behind-the-scenes streams, 20% off of the merch, the dope emojis, the killer badge, access to special parts of the tower. Check it out. Consider becoming a Nerd Venger today. Okay, so let's get in here. John Van Gelderen Jr., and I apologize if the other super chats I can't see. Like, dude, YouTube is really messing up lately. Like, they're messing up a lot. Like, the past couple of weeks have sucked for a number of different reasons. But I can't pull up the thing I usually do to get the super chats going. So I apologize, but I should be able to get everyone that comes in now. So John and Dave were with Taika when he made that episode. What worries me is he may not have someone like that with him when he makes the movie. John, that's such a great point. And with Dave getting his big promotion, we could assume that maybe Dave would be there, but we don't know for sure. And I think the vibe that I'm getting, which isn't just getting pulled out of the fucking ether, you know what I mean? Like, it's context clues, motherfuckers. Think about it. Last year for May the 4th, all they did was say, we got Taika, he's doing a movie. And they expected us all to just be like, oh, you know what I mean? In the wake of Rise of Skywalker, with no real acknowledgement about that kerfuffle and where we were headed with canon, what the fuck was going on with the fan base, without any real, actual connection to the audience or what was going on with the fan base, they were just like, yeah, Taika's doing his thing. Now, to me, what that means is Kathy's doing that Kathy thing, man. And it's not like, oh, she's fucking got an agenda. She wants to destroy everything and make all the men wear dresses. No. She's just a boomer. She's just a boomer, and she's doing boomer Hollywood things. Let's get the hot new thing. Put the hot new thing on the thing, slap it on the lunchbox, call it a day, Star Wars. Buy it. Shit doesn't work anymore. To me, what it seems like, I'm just like slapping the table like fucking the camera. To me, what it seems like is they don't have a plan. They don't have a thing, and they don't have an answer for where they're at. They just have the ability to get a really cool creative talent like that and hope that they hedge enough of their bets like that fans just show up and love it and appreciate it, and we go somewhere crazy from there. If there were other announcements made around this announcement, I would be more hyped for it. But what it seems like to me is it's just another, like, let's do this kind of thing. But that's just my opinion. Christopher says, Star Wars needs this. It needs to grow beyond the typical stuff they've done before. Bro, I completely agree with that. And, you know, it's funny because I was just talking about Michael Waldron's comments about Star Wars. And really, it was actually the guy that's writing Ant-Man 3 that was commenting about Michael and Star Wars, really. But he was friends with Michael on Rick and Morty, and they wrote on Rick and Morty together. And I absolutely agree that you need some swagger and some, like, I'm going to do this crazy thing. Like, it needs a freshness, right? It needs a freshness. It needs a fresh coat of paint. It needs to grow beyond the typical stuff. I agree with all of that. But I think just making it Taika doesn't necessarily it doesn't ground it at all. Like, it's too wild for me. So it's like, I totally acknowledge that, yes, we need newness in Star Wars. And it's like, why would I be more comfortable with Michael Waldron writing on a Kevin Feige produced Star Wars movie? Like, why does that seem better to me than just Taika? Because number one, bringing in Feige and having that kind of foresight and that kind of just knowledge of audience and knowledge of brand and just the producer knowledge that Feige brings to that project would be insane to see. Also, Waldron seems to have a special relationship with Feige and the ability to turn in incredible work that has its own voice, that stands on its own, that has its own swagger, but also perfectly fits in with a large macro plan. That's a special skill set. It's a talent. Like, that would get me more excited than everybody hanging their hat on the creative gusto of Taika Waititi. That's just my opinion. But I do acknowledge, Christopher, that other side of it where people are like, but it needs newness. I agree. But I think like just newness without addressing some of the core problems, it's not going to get me as excited. X-Wing says with a $5 holla, might be biased, but I love me some Star Wars stream. Take my money. Well, thank you, brother. I think you are a little bit biased, of course. But no, I love talking Star Wars as well. And I think moving forward, we'll have a lot more Star Wars stuff to talk about. You know what I mean? I think Visions is going to be dope. Visions might be like a real sweet spot for me, and I'm hoping a lot of you guys enjoy it as well. And then obviously at the end of the year, Book of Boba Fett, bro. It's all about Book of Boba. And once we get closer to Book of Boba, like, the mood's gonna change. Things are gonna shift, and we're gonna be talking a lot about dope shit, bounty hunters, crazy Mandalorian stuff, all sorts of fun stuff. So I'm excited for that. The Star Wars Obsession says, when are they casting the Martell sisters, Josh? Seriously, get at me about Grogu and Luke for sure. I'm gonna try to remember today. There's a lot of things going on. I'm in a lot of communications. A disruption in communications can mean only one thing. Banging the homies, Star Wars streams from Josh is epic. Hey, thanks, brother. I appreciate the love. Will says, I think Taika's movie will be a breath of fresh air. Yeah, and again, you see this kind of repeated in the chat, right? People are feeling like the fresh air that Taika could provide would be a very welcome thing to Star Wars. And I understand that. I acknowledge that. You know what I mean? I just need something else there to just, to I guess, end the sort of trepidations that I have, right? Like, I'm just like, I don't know. Dude, Star Wars as a brand and as a franchise has been through so much. But, like, I think that there's a part of me that's like, dude, there are a few more really bad moves away from, like, tanking in relevance. I know many of you are like, that'll never happen. That could never happen. Bro, I'm telling you, there are a few moves away. Like, why do you think they took the time away from the movies? Like, she acknowledges that they needed to do something different and come at it from a different angle. Like, wasn't in the best of places. You know what I mean? Let's see here. John Parker says, Katie O'Brien is the comms officer on Moff's ship. How crazy would it be if that was Sabine? Well, everything that's being indicated out there would tell you that's not Sabine. If they're just casting her, that's not Sabine, dude. And the Hollywood Reporter would not be talking about a casting report if there was already somebody that was cast. You know what I mean? So, like, as cool as that idea would be in the story, because that would be pretty wild, and I remember we all thought that as well. Dude, Star Wars fans are wild. I mean, just in general, nerds are wild, but, like, we really do just jump at some of this stuff. You know what I mean? We're like, oh, it's a female officer that kind of looks like what Sabine would look like animated. At least we think so, maybe in our mind. Sabine confirmed. You know? That's kind of how it goes sometimes. But, yeah, that's... It would be wild, John. I just really don't see it coming, bro. But thank you for the support. Scott Strong says, insiders... Jordan Mason, LRM, etc., announced final 3 choices casting is looking for Sabine. I posted image of them on Discord under morning stream. Whoa, cool. Let me go check that out. Oh, these are the 3? Is this confirmed to be the 3? Like, did they post this on... Where did they post this, man? Oh, it's LRM. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's take a peek. Let's look at it together. Breaking news, Nerdvengers. Breaking news. We have officially, unofficially, the rumored but not a rumor of who the rumors will rumored be. Rumor. Okay. So this is the 3 frontrunners according to LRM, and apparently other people are corroborating this. Tati Gabrielle. I'm not sure. Who is she? I mean, like, who does she play in Captain Marvel? I don't know. Lana Condor. Don't really know her either. Who is she? Somebody help me out here. And Havana Rose Lee. Honestly, I don't know who any of them are. You know what I mean? I'm sorry to be that guy, but I don't know who any of them are. Have they been in anything that I would recognize? I mean, Captain Marvel I've seen. You know, I saw that movie once. Maybe twice. Who are they? Who are they? Where's Chloe? Yeah, it looks like it's not Chloe. Looks like it's definitely not going to be Chloe. If I had to go just at face value, like looks, like who do I think looks the most like Sabine? It is Tati, actually. I think Tati would be... And maybe it's just because of like the colorfulness in this or whatever, but... Sheev the Wise knows who the Tati simps are. Who is she? Lana Condor is Jubilee. Okay, cool. Yeah, she was cool in that flick. The third one is kind of behind you, Josh. Well, that's kind of creepy. Let's move her. Okay, there we go. Middle girl is in rom-com, says Elisa. Okay. All right. Interesting. She was in the... Okay, cool. She's fine as hell, too, says Baby Yoda's escape pod. Hey, Baby Yoda, you're not even grown up enough to have thoughts like that. And you're also an escape pod, so. The girl on the left is Sabrina from and the 100. Tati is the one I like of those. Okay. Yeah, I think Tati looks, I mean, she looks the most like the part to me. He is 50, though. Fair point. Fair point. Live your life. Live your life, Grogu. Live your life, bro. Dude, I really wish... What is happening here? I don't understand. Dude, YouTube is so weird right now. They must be changing a bunch of stuff on the back end because it is just difficile. Difficile. Thank you for that, Scott. Scott Owen says, Titan Season 3, Josh, watch it, ends up being good. I mean, I've heard it's good. You know, I've heard people like it, so that's cool, man. I'm glad you like Titans, but at this point, like, I don't think I'm going back to Titans. One of my best friends in the world is, like, all about Titans, actually. And, like, if, no offense, but, like, if he can't get me to check out Titans, like, I don't know. I just don't know if it's going to be a thing. But thank you for the support. Appreciate the love. John White says, I don't care if Taika is hotter than Hansel. Hardcore Star Wars fans will never be satisfied. I see this as a move to appease the Star Wars normies. Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm so conflicted on this one. Because I see a scenario in which he nails it, man. He nails it, and he's like, it's like, damn, like, bro, like, this dude was the one. He has the ability to take us into the light again. And holy cow, this new Star Wars movie is going to, so cool. I want to see more of this. This is the new vibe for Star Wars. But I don't know, bro. There's just too many questions. Too many questions. Too many ways it could go wrong. I mean, what the hell is up with the Schoolhouse Rock fucking Star Wars shit? What the hell's up with it going back to Jedi? I'll tell you this. If Taika Waititi is going to make it so that all of the Jedi all come from a planet of New Zealand accented softies that are all airheads, no fucking thank you. Let me just say, that's really what it comes down to for me. If Taika Waititi is going to make all of the Jedi come from a bunch of Korg motherfuckers, like, and I love Korg, but if you go back and you're trying to do that, and then it's like, oh yeah, all the Jedi actually came from these, like, Oompa Loompa Smurf idiots, no thank you. Moving on. Amber says, for $5 holla. Just showing love. Appreciate your content as always, Josh. Take my money. Well, thank you, Amber. That is so kind. We really appreciate the support. And we're happy to make this content for you. Honestly, it's my absolute pleasure. And I've got, I've sort of got a new feeling for the content, especially on the solo videos. And I'm hoping to take the streams to the next level next week with just doing a little bit of the work on the green screen stuff. The past couple of weeks have been rough, been drained, been sick, had some drama, but feeling very, very good and feeling excited to like tackle the back half of the year with content. Like I want to take our content to the next level. So I appreciate the support, all the support, honestly, all of it. Likes, comments, subscribes, memberships, super chats, retweets, all that shit matters. It's a wild world out there. Everybody's trying to be relevant. Everybody's trying to get views. Everybody's trying to make good content. Well, not everybody, but it's just a weird world. So any little bit of support, it goes a long way. So thank you, Amber. Appreciate that. I'm Donovan73 says, listen, Star Wars can't do anything worse than that what if ... trash. You know what's so funny about that, man? Like, I think I might do a video about what if and just talk about how divided everybody seems to be on it. Because look, straight facts, bro, I loved it. And I'm hype on it. And I can't, like, I don't know how to, like, I can throw a dog a bone and I can totally understand why people feel differently about it. But, like, for whatever reason, what if has set the internet off? Like, okay, so first of all, it's been trending. It trended all day yesterday. It's still trending today. But the flip side of that coin is that it's not all trending just on its own merit. DC fans and Warner Brother fans started using the what if hashtag to throw shade at Marvel fans, and then Marvel fans started getting in on it as well, and it actually took off as almost a meme. So yesterday on social, I don't know if you saw this or not, but there were a lot of back and forth where people were like, what if all your movies weren't just the same and you killed all your villains and wasted everything, like from a DC fan? And then a Marvel fan would be like, what if your movies didn't suck? And like stuff like that back and forth. And so what if, for whatever reason, became this big cultural fly in the ointment between Marvel and DC fans? On top of that, for whatever reason, Captain Carter, who I think is, I mean, honestly, I'm just going to say it. Captain Carter, greater than Sam Wilson. I would legitimately rather have Captain Carter, after a single episode of animation, I would rather have Captain Carter lead the Avengers and be the leader of the next Captain America film than Sam Wilson. Captain Carter is way more interesting, way more badass, actually has super soldier serum, can really get it, I'd much rather have Captain Carter in charge of everything. And for whatever reason, it seems like, a lot of the anti-woke people or whatever are like, oh, Captain Carter is just, I don't know, they want to make Captain Carter a thing, like a woke thing, like a MCU kind of thing. And I'm just like, this is so fucking crazy. Like, just on merit, I think she's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, like, I don't get triggered by a lot of that stuff the way other people do. I just gotta be real with y'all. Like, I don't see it. I think some of you guys are, I don't know, seeing some stuff that's not even out there. To me, Captain Carter's dope. What If is awesome. But I acknowledge, too, because I can't just deny reality. Like, dude, it's divisive. Weirdly divisive. I don't know. But I appreciate your take either way. I am Donovan. Appreciate the love. X-Wing says, Taika isn't taken seriously by some people because he shrouds his talent in humor. Fair point. After Jojo Rabbit, I realized how truly capable he is. I'm hopeful. Bro, okay, what a great way to say it. Appreciate the love, X-Wing. Appreciate the thought. It's true. And I tried to make that point earlier in the stream, but I think I just had a bunch of goobly glob come out of my mouth, and everybody was probably like, dude, what the fuck? What else is on YouTube? You know what I mean? But in all seriousness, he's really, really good. It's almost like his branding and the way people are attracted to his work, I feel is not even the right shit. Like, he's legitimately awesome, bro. Like, from a technical perspective, from a writing perspective, from a storytelling perspective, he's great. It's just like, he's just kind of a wild card. You know what I mean? He's just kind of a wild card, and I just worry that the wrong things are going to be emphasized with this movie. But who knows? If he wasn't as good as he is, I would be super anti. He's so good that even despite a lot of my personal feelings, my trepidations about it or whatever, I still have to like acknowledge in the same breath that he's legit and that he could be the one. He could be the one. Dirty Nab 30 Vo says, Brie Larson as Sabine or bust. Brie Larson as Sabine. You know, I'm interested in what's going on with Brie and Captain Marvel and the Marvels and Secret Invasion. I gotta be honest, I think Marvel's gonna move a lot of pieces into play sort of around her. And in a sense, they are gonna sort of downgrade her position in the MCU a little bit. And I'm just curious to see how that's gonna play out. What's the narrative's gonna be online? Like, because Brie Larson is like clickbait gold. You know what I mean? At least she was for many, many months. So are the Brie Larson clickbaiters, like, how are they going to manage? I don't know. Like, the whole thing's fascinating to me. You know what I mean? The whole thing's fascinating to me. I don't really care one way or another. Like, I thought Captain Marvel was a better movie than a lot of people say it is. But I'm personally irritated, like, by Brie a lot. Even before she made whack-ass comments. I just thought she was kind of off-putting. You know what I mean? Her attitude and shit. I'm just like, nah, whatever. So... yeah, Brie Larson should be cast as Luke Skywalker, I guess is what I'm saying. I think if Star Wars wants to get to that next level and really evolve into its next form, I think they need to cast Brie Larson as Luke Skywalker. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Joey Ebb says, just because Star Wars has had the comic relief before doesn't mean it has to be a staple going forward. That was one of the main issues I had with the sequel trilogy. Great point, Joey. Let me pause for a second here because I think Star Wars humor is very subtle. I think with Star Wars, you need to be laughing with the characters, not at the characters. Okay? Like old school Star Wars humor and like what was going on with Han Solo, sort of the lovable idiot in many ways, and just that kind of humor and C-3PO and all that sort of stuff. It's like the humor is happening organically in the show. It's not something that's like pushed character-wise, if that makes sense, right? So it's a subtle thing, and it's a thing that I think they definitely got wrong with the sequel trilogy for the most part. Like it just doesn't feel like Star Wars humor. A lot of the TLJ humor particularly is cringe as fuck. So yeah, I get a little worried about it. Let's see here. He who profanes says, never get to catch these live, but I just noticed I'm almost to 4 months creeping on that diamond badge. LFG, looking for group? Is that what you're saying? Much love, Josh. Keep it up. Hey, thank you so much, man. Almost to that diamond badge. That is sick. You'll love to see it, and you'll love to see it next to your name in the chat. So definitely appreciate the love, my friend, and glad that you're hanging out with us, Nerdvention, in the streets. Let's see here. Sheev the Wise says, Captain Carter better than Sam Wilson? He's out of line, but he's right. I mean, the man said it. The man said it, ladies and gentlemen. You let me know what you think. Are you guys, I'm going to look at the chat in a second here. Are you guys freaking out? Is there a bunch of Sam Wilson fans in here that are like, no, it can't be. It can't be. You know, the more people I talk to about this, too, like I was on with Kendall last night. Great stream. You should go check it out. Normies to Nerds did a fun stream talking about What If with Kendall. You know, even Kendall's like just whatever about Mackie and not that into Sam as a character. And it's like the more people I talk to about this, and this can happen. Like it just is what it is. I don't think Sam is really it. I don't think he's really popping like that. You know? Like to me, Captain Carter is legitimately a cooler character. Whatever. Michael Phantom says, my only fear is Taika will over Taika Star Wars like gun over gunned Suicide Squad. I loved it, but could have been restrained a little bit. Yeah, I agree, man. Michael, I think you hit the nail on the head there, bro. It's all about the balance, you know? And Warner Brothers is horrible at this. You know, what they did to David Ayer and what they did to Zack Snyder was horrible. They gutted it up. They did a bunch of studio interference. It was bad. But it's almost like they did the opposite of that with some of their other movies, like Birds of Prey. And even the Suicide Squad, which I like, but dude, it feels so wild. There's nothing for me to latch onto as a DC fan. I can't latch onto anything. Now, you can make the argument, and I saw Rob do a video about this, and it was really cool. He was talking about how it's perfect for the comics. I can't argue with that. Suicide Squad had a vibe. This was the vibe, and it feels very like, unknown, grunge. Everybody's just dying. Don't get attached to too many people, et cetera, et cetera. In that sense, it's fine, but I think that it just doesn't scratch the itch that now fans have. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. To me, and it's bombing. Suicide Squad is bombing. You could say, oh, it's because of this, that, second, and the third. It's because of the pandy. It's because of that. Bro, regardless, that movie's bombing. Big time. You know what I mean? Okay, let's hang out on the chat. What's going on in the chat? What is everybody talking about? What's on your mind? Do you have any questions? Any secrets that you want to tell the class? Yeah. What are your questions? What's going on? Do you think Lucasfilm paid off Kessel Run Transmissions to stop their channel to prevent leaks, says Charlie Fisher? No. I don't think that's what happened, but I do think there's some stuff that I can't really speak to with that, because I think you'll learn more about it next year. And that's probably all I can say about it. No, I do not think that's what happened. But I will say this. Check the Discord message. Something weird happened yesterday. Okay, I'll check it out. I don't know if I can check it out right now. Wait, what? I don't have a message from you, bro. I don't have a message from you, bro. Oh, unless you're going to send it to me later. So I'll tell you that I know that Disney is trying to shut certain people down. But here's the thing. I want to sort of give credit to Disney because they do have a PR department that is at least out here trying to communicate with people and trying to have some kind of a relationship with content creators, insiders, and people like that, okay? So I want to give credit where credit is due. They at least have an open line of communication, and they do try to communicate with people. However, I got to call a spade a spade. I have heard that in some ways this is only really used to try to curtail what is being put out there and to try to prevent certain leaks and spoilers from happening. And look, this just is what it is. I hope I'm not ruining anybody's day. I hope I'm not throwing any dirty laundry into the streets. But the reality is, what they will usually do is offer access to prevent leaks. In some ways, I've heard if people give up their sources, they will get interviews, premieres, and different things like that. So they'll dangle things over you to literally try to get you to give up a leaker. Can you believe that shit? Can you believe that? So all I will say is if you look out there at certain channels or certain insiders and certain scoopers, and some of them are great. Like I think even Charles Murphy is an example of this. Charles Murphy is great. Awesome. But the more he does interviews with actual talent and talks to people at Marvel, the more I know he's holding stuff back. You know what I mean? 100%. Now, that's fine. He's running a business. He's doing his thing. He's trying to figure out the future for his brand, company, business, etc. But my policy on that has always been like arm's length. I don't want access. I don't really want to even talk to these people or meet these people. I need to have a sort of free forum to talk about the things that I want to talk about. Now, I'm also not one to like shit on Disney unfairly or make a whole habit or a whole channel or a whole brand of crapping on Disney or crapping on companies or whatever, right? We're very fair over here. We're so fair, it irritates people. Some people are like, yeah, that fence-sitting motherfucker over there at the Den of Nerds, I can't handle it. Pick a fucking side, man. That's how some people feel, right? But I gotta be me. I got to be me. I got to call it the way that I see it. And I got to be free to call it the way that I see it and use my own judgment on what I want to talk about and what I don't want to talk about. Okay? So there's a very long-winded answer to that question. For Cuscala Lopez, very generous, 200 of some kind of currency. I think you just gave us $200 million, so thank you. I'm going to take the rest of the month off. Thank you for Cuscala Lopez. Says, am I the only one that felt Peggy was a little weird? She acted like she was set aside all her life because of gender when she really wasn't. Was her in the movies? I have the feeling she was always a badass. Yeah, look, sort of as I said in my... By the way, I'm taking all that back, you know what I mean? Like, dude, what... Put me on the spot here with this really weird question. Now I got to defend fucking Peggy Carter and all this. Thanks a lot for Cuscala. But here's the deal. Here's what I'll say. I do not think that the way it was handled in What If was out of pocket. I felt like it was handled with care and sensibility to everybody in the room. And I think, like, we're starting to get to this point, and hey, maybe it's just fair because of what content has been doing lately. Like, I don't necessarily even blame fans for sort of having this feeling or getting into this spot, but it's starting to get into this place, man, this really weird place where any semblance of acknowledging that there is some sexism out there is just blanketed with woke and looked at horribly. And that's a damn shame because it's eroded and perverted our ability to even look at the fucking world. Do you know what I mean? Like, just plainly speaking, particularly around that time, it would have been a thing. And an army officer would have absolutely been pissed off that they injected a female Brit, which, by the way, I feel like they should have talked more about the fact that she was British. For me personally, shout out to Paul. That's totally a thing, man. An officer would be furious about that. You know what I mean? I think even to this day, America does not let women fight on the front lines, be soldiers. But, like, on the flip side of that, if you're a UFC fan, then you're constantly watching females that are incredible physical warriors that could probably beat your ass. And you're cheering them on, and it's a cool thing, and it's an awesome part of, like, that brand and that family and that community. So I think, honestly, man, things are just so mixed up right now. You know what I mean? Like, I understand your feelings about that, and I understand, like, you thinking that, but I just can't help but think that it's influenced by other things outside of the show. And on top of that, the show is even trying to reach across the aisle to you. The show is trying to be sensitive to people's feelings about these issues and the saturation of, honestly, a lot of garbage. You know what I mean? Like, in some ways, like, Marvel is paying for the sins of, like, the 2015 Ghostbusters shit. Yeah, there were a ton of whack things that were done by Hollywood, by these different studios, and just in general, when it comes to, like, wokeness, representation, all these different things. Of course, there've been a bunch of tone-deaf, bullcrappy things out there, but now it's sort of become this thing where it's like, we can't even... I just feel like people are too triggered. You know what I mean? I feel like people are too fucking triggered by all this kind of stuff. But that's just where I'm at with it. So yeah, Peggy Carter for president. I simp for Peggy Carter all the way. Matthew K. In general, who's more important, writer or director? It depends on the medium. It depends on the project. I think a director is very, very important for a movie. But in television, a writer is more important. But it really depends on what you're talking about. With a Star Wars movie, dude, the writer might be as important. Like, for real. Like, the writing and the attention that the writer must give, probably as important as the director. The director might not be as important in a Star Wars movie. You know what I mean? The director might not be as important in a Marvel movie, just being honest. But then again, I'm pretty pumped to see what motherfucking Sam Raimi does with that shit. That shit's going to be hot. I am Donovan, 73 with a $5 holla. Says, I love Peggy Carter. Just to clarify, it's not a woke issue for me. I want for them to focus on her. I just thought they did a bad job at it. Totally fair, man. Different strokes for different folks. I understand. Again, I can see it, I guess, but, like, it's weird, right? Because, like, for me, I'm just like, I thought they killed it, bro. Like, And I was like geeking out with Kendall last night, and it was honestly like fucking nice, dude. Like Kendall's awesome, man. He's a real one. And it was nice to be able to just geek out about that. And he made me even feel more comfortable with how much I love the episode. You know what I mean? And he's just like, nah, man, like I watched like 3 times today. I loved it. I think it's so fun, so accessible, so digestible, so fun. And I was like, dude, you're right. Like, let's go, So it's like, I want to acknowledge you and be like, dude, totally fair. And by the way, I still hope it gets better. But for me, it's like, dude, kind of loved it, though. Kind of loved it. You know what I mean? Fin2182 says, do you think Carter was a little too powerful? Steve wasn't throwing trucks around. Is this anime just being able to go harder? Love the episode, though. I think that's a fair question. Man, I'm feeling real nerdy with this question. This is a real nerdy question, Finto, just so you know. And you're among friends, and you're among the Nerdvengers. You're in the goddamn Nerdvengers Tower, for God's sake. So it's all good. But let's just take a moment and acknowledge how nerdy this fucking question is, right? Like, the cartoon Elseworld version of Captain America Peggy Carter seemingly is more powerful than the fictional super soldier Captain America fake thing that I love, due to the fact that I never saw the live-action Steve Rogers flip a tank over himself. What are your thoughts? And now we have to get into like the physics of it all. We got to think about the frame rates, the differences, how far was the sun, where was the moon located at in the thing, Does she have Nikes on, What's the deal? In this universe, is gravity 0.07386% lower than it is at that, like there's so many questions, right? So again, let's just acknowledge how fucking sweaty this is. This is really sweaty. I will tell you this. I don't think she's stronger than Steve. I think that when the tank was coming... By the way, I don't think she flips a tank around on her own strength. What happens is a car is coming in, and she plants the shield, and the momentum from the car is carried over. It's not like she dead-ass stops the car. Then I would be like, this bitch is Superman. You know what I mean? Like, if she came in and was just like... bam, and just stopped it, then I'd be like, whoa, she's Superman. And I'd probably still love it. But the point is, she flips it over using an incredible amount of strength, but it's the momentum of the car coming over that I think is really like what happens there. Because the next one she stops, she does stop it, it's going way slower, and the homies fly out of the windshield. It stops and then falls back down, and it doesn't even flip. So I think it's like one of those things where it's like the first one's coming in really hot, she flips it, everybody else probably like slows down once they see what's happening, So again, very sweaty question, but that's my explanation on that. I do not think that she's stronger than Steve Rogers. Do you guys think she's stronger? Let me know in the chat. Darth Revan says, Josh, you are a genius. Nah, man, I'm just some sweaty nerd. Thank you, though. Thank you, though. Oh, I love this comment, though. Amber says this, and I did see people bring this up. It's a good point. She was technically a lot stronger than Steve was, right? Steve was honestly frail and kind of wimpy. And so, like, if you think about it, let's say on a power scale, Steve's coming in at like a 2 out of 10. Maybe Peggy's a 3 out of 10 before the serum. Like, legitimately, that's actually legit. Could be totally legit. And let's say a full dose of the super soldier serum takes you up 6 notches. Okay? Well, then you've got Cap at an 8 out of 10, and you've got Peggy at a 9 out of 10 because of where she started. Okay? Simple power scaling. So that's also a possible explanation. So who knows? And yeah, he held a chopper down. Remember when Steve Rogers' bicep, like, that's America's bicep right there, pulled the freaking chopper down? Come on, man. That dude's strong. Come on, dude. Gray says, this new What If is one of my favorite shows ever, and Peggy Carter is amazing. Yeah, I really, really liked it. I'm glad you liked it, too. Hi, Josh. Are you going to watch the Star Wars Bad Batch Episode 16? You know what, guys? I think we should do a Bad Batch watch party. I know Elisa's probably like, no. She's like watching whatever. But I think we probably should do one, It's the last episode. You know, it's been a weird couple of weeks. I feel like the Nerd Vengers just need to hang, man. We just need to get into the theater. We need to throw popcorn at each other. We need to throw sodas at each other. You know, maybe Milk Duds. But if we start throwing Milk Duds, I'm going to be like fucking Pac-Man just eating that shit. So, yeah, let's do it. Let's do a watch party. It might just be a Nerd Vengers watch party. Maybe we'll open it up to everybody, but at the very least, we'll do a watch party. Let's do a watch party about the Bad Batch tonight. Yeah, that'll be fun, man. Peggy greater than Sam because Peggy had better universe growth than Sam. Sam was good in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Okay. CW Falcon dropped the ball for... Oh, he was okay. Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, Sam's cool, dude. Like, I actually really like him as a character, but I felt like he was a great character with Steve. You know what I mean? Like, with Steve, he fits really nicely into the... It's all about Steve. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about Steve. He fits really nicely into that. I don't know how much he's a standalone character. We'll see. Maybe he can carry it. Maybe. We'll see. She jumped over a castle, says Owen. Bro, she didn't jump over a castle. If anything, she jumps over a wall. And the castle in the background is just interestingly juxtaposed against her jumping. Oh, man. There's so many... What the fuck happened with What If? Like, how did it get this controversial? Like, why is it this controversial? Bro, she jumped over the whole world. I think she jumped to the moon, and she took Dogecoin there. I wonder if she realizes she in a cartoon. Stay woke! Bro, she cleared the moon. I seen it. What would you do if you got the serum, Josh? Oh, man, I would turn heel. I would turn supervillain and heel immediately. Like, everybody's like, dude, Josh is so nice. Josh is so sweet. Like, you know, Josh. No! Wrong. Wrong. The first thing I would do is start challenging all the other YouTubers. I would get on and be like, look, I am the best YouTuber and the best fighter YouTuber. I will fight all of the YouTubers at one time. And then I would have like a big tournament where all the YouTubers showed up and I would smash them all. And I would leave it so they couldn't actually do videos for a long time because I beat them up that badly. And then I would take over all of YouTube. Yeah. So then I'd start taking over all of YouTube. And I would do incredible feats with the strength that I have, you know, on the streams and stuff like that. And then I would jump over castles to prove how strong I am. You know what I mean? If I couldn't jump over castles, then what the fuck is it really for? You know what I mean? So, there you go. Squishy parts, indeed. Exactly. I'd show up to YouTube, like, headquarters. I'd roll up my sleeves, and I'd be like, oh, y'all gonna learn today? Like, remember all those times that you fucked me over? Remember all those times that I asked Team YouTube for help on Twitter and your algorithm fucking responded bot bullshit didn't help me out at all? Smashy smash. And then I'd probably Hulk out, just to be honest with you. The more I think about all of the things that are horrible about YouTube, the more I want to Hulk out. Maybe I don't even need the goddamn serum, to be honest with you. Shit. Feeling kind of Hulk-like right now. No, this is one of my favorite shirts. Don't rip it. Don't rip it. She jumped over a castle, though. Who ordered the calamari? How are the Doges doing? Dude, the Doges are good. The Doge coins are doing well as the Doges. They were pretty rascally this morning. I'm just going to be honest. Like, Elisa and I are both still dealing with the sickness. She's going through it right now. So, like, it's been a little tough, man, this week. Just because the pups are crazy. We're trying to do a lot. There's a lot going on. And we're both just not fully there. You know what I mean? So, we're doing all right. She jumped on my... I'm going to stop myself. Yeah. Almost ripped my arm off. Who ordered the calamari? Boom. Dude, I love that who ordered the calamari line. That shit's legendary. Like, calamari apparently wasn't even brought over to the States around that time. It wasn't even really popularized. What else is going on, guys? I'm going to hang for like 5 more minutes. Oh my god, it's almost noon? We've been streaming for a good bit today, huh? You guys just caught me monologuing. Who's that? The Queen of England? Yeah, those lines. I mean, come on. Legendary. Legendary, those lines. Josh, come on, dude. She was literally jumping between planes, decapitated the pilot with her shield, then jumped off onto the next one. Read a comic, dude. Come on, man. Come on, man. Read a comic. I'll tell you what she did do. She jumped right over Scarlett Johansson's relevance. If I was Disney, I would sign Haley Atwell to a big contract and give her $21 million for every movie. And just be like, hey, ScarJo. You know, that's what I would do. I choose Tati. I choose Tati, but only because of you, bro. You don't say that. I hated how good her hair looked the entire time she was fighting. So unrealistic. Bro, you're right. She should go bald when she's fighting. And then have it blast back like a fucking chia pet in her. You're right. That would have been way better. Who ordered the calamari? I love me some ScarJo, but I love me some Haley Atwell 100 times more. Dude, me too. Me too. ScarJo is the bad guy? No, dude, ScarJo is amazing. She's super kind and sweet and gentle and also greedy as fuck. And I'm convinced started the pandemic. So look, I don't really get like super into these things, attached to these kind of things. What happens in the news happens in the news. I just try to make sense of it. And from where I'm standing after the lawsuit, she hates children. She hates the poors. She started Corona. She started TikTok. Scarlett Johansson is probably the most twisted, evil supervillain of our day and age. So it's funny how these things shake out in the press and then the trickle-down effect of that and people, having different feelings about it. So, look, yeah. So. So. Yeah. R.I.P. ScarJo, you know? Oh, jeez. All right, everybody. I think we're going to call it there. You guys are awesome as always. It's always fun getting in here, hanging out, nerding out with you guys. Yes, I'm being sarcastic, Force Lord, yes. Why does Marvel Animation lag so far behind DC and Star Wars? You don't say that. You don't say that. All right, everybody. Much love. Much love. We're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much. Look for more videos coming out. Main channel today, tomorrow. I've got some actually really excited ones. I'm pumped about working on them. I'm having fun making content again. So let's do it. And yeah, we're going to do a Bad Batch watch party. Bad Batch watch party! Started up probably around 2:30. And we'll hang out. We'll watch some Bad Batch. We'll watch some Bad Batch. It's going to be fun. All right, everybody. Much love. As I always say, I hope you guys are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Oh, hey, you know, I got something kind of special for a stinger today. I actually activated a slot machine minigame via the Streamlabs chat. And just as an experiment here, I want to see how it works. So let's try this. Let's go. Exclamation, slots. And then you put in the amount of points. So let's go 1,000. Does that work? I don't know. Hey. Dang. Okay. You know, I want it to like actually show the stuff though. Does it show it on stream? Let's see. I don't think it does. Let me. Hang on. See, the only thing I want to change here, and it's kind of cool, but the only thing I want to change here is the chat thing. You'll see it popped up. Rigged is the first thing that popped up. Rigged! Oh my god, no! But you see how it has like the heart, dolphin, heart pulse, or whatever, right? I wish it showed the actual emojis. So I'm gonna try to work on that. One person won? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so you got to get like 3 in a row. Everybody stop. He's stealing our nerd coin. No, it's supposed to be fun. But yeah, it's supposed to have the ability, like here, I'll look at it real quick. I'll tell you the preferences. So if you can get either a sparkling heart, a dolphin, a gift, a wolf, a heart pulse, or a skull and crossbones. And you gotta get all of them. So if you get 3 sparkling hearts, you get 10 times. If you get 3 dolphins, you get 5 times. If you get 3 gifts, you get 4 times. 3 wolves, you get 3. Heart pulse, you get 2. And then yeah. So I might adjust this too and have some fun with it. But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have different parts of the stream where we go into the casino together and we do a little gambling. And so there'll be the ability to do gambling. There'll be the ability to yeah. We'll have some fun with that. So we're gonna go over all that. Much love, everybody. Hey, stop doing it. Stop doing it. It was just an experiment. It was just an experiment. Has anybody won yet? Bet on Bad Batch tonight? Maybe. Has anybody won? I want to try one more time and then I'm out. One more time and then I'm out. 2 people won? Let's see. Dude, I can't wait for Halo Infinite. No, because it's rigged. Dude, it's not rigged. It's not rigged, bro. Gift, dolphin. Damn it. Why not another gift? Gift, dolphin. Let's see here, Carl. Oh, Carl got wolf. Let's go. All right, everybody. Just a little experiment. I didn't mean to make everything crazy at the end here. Sorry. Just some stuff we're working on behind the scenes. Oh, thank you, Jimmy. That's nice. All right, everybody. Much love. See you.